I think in startups, you make trade-offs every single day. Literally, I did trade-off today. I was rolling out entire billing platform and it changed like 90% of how we do billing. And I'm like, in the morning, Kyle is asleep. I was like, I'll just push this to production and fix bugs along the way because we need this for today for new customers to enroll. So I think trade-offs are something that we are doing daily. Own what you decide and move forward. Even if it was a bad decision, like fine, it doesn't matter. Scratch that, let's move on. And I think that's how startups should operate. Moving mountains every day is the goal. My name is Martina Zrnec, co-founder and CTO at Stacklist.
This is Code Story, a podcast bringing you interviews with tech visionaries.
Spent 6 months moonlighting.
There's nothing on the back end.
Who share what it takes to change an industry.
I don't exactly know what to do
took
next.
many goes to get right.
Who built the teams that have their back.
A company is its people.
The teams help each other achieve more.
I was proud of our team.
Keeping scalability top of mind.
All that infrastructure was
Yes, we've been fighting it as we grow.
Total waste of time.
The stories you don't read in the headlines.
It's not an easy thing to achieve, mind
Took
you.
it off the shelf and dusted it off and tried it again.
To ride the ups and downs of the startup life.
You need to really want it.
It's not just about technology.
All this and more on Code Story. I'm your host, Noah Labhart, and today how Martina Zrnec has built a way for you to share and discover, collecting your favorite things into stacks. Today's episode is brought to you by .tech Domains, and this one hits close to home. Back in 2016, I was building my startup and went hunting for that perfect .com and found next to nothing. So I did what every founder does, settled. Here's what I wish someone had told me. You're building a tech startup, just get a .tech domain. It instantly tells investors and customers what you're about. Don't overthink it. Secure your .tech domain today from any registrar of your choice. This episode is sponsored by Unblocked. Unblocked is the context layer your agents are missing. It synthesizes your PRs, docs, Slack, and tickets into organizational context that agents actually understand. So they make better plans, write higher quality code, use fewer tokens, and require fewer correction loops. If you're running Claude Code, Cursor, or any agentic workflow, Unblocked is worth a look. Learn more at getunblocked.com/codestory. This episode is sponsored by Mesmo. If your team is collecting large volumes of logs, metrics, and traces, but still struggling to get timely answers, Mesmo can help. Mesmo is an active telemetry platform that processes and enriches observability data in real time before it's stored or analyzed. That means lower data volume, lower cost, and faster root cause analysis across your existing observability tools. To see how it works, get a demo at mesmo.com/codestory. That's MEZMO.com/codestory. This episode is sponsored by BrainGrid. If you are building with AI coding tools, but your features keep breaking, you need to check out BrainGrid. It is the product management agent for AI builders. BrainGrid turns messy ideas into clear specs, tasks, and prompts that coding agents like Cursor and Claude can actually build the right way. Ship real software, not fragile prototypes. Start free at braingrid.ai. Martina Zrnec is located in Croatia and grew up playing basketball, spending every minute she could on the court. And when I say every minute, I mean it. She would even skip the last few hours of school and hit the court for some practice. Eventually, her mother decided for her that she should not pursue it professionally and should focus on her schooling. But outside of tech, she's married with 2 kids. She notes that she is not just a coding person. She likes to socialize. She plays piano, and as a family, they spend a lot of time outside, biking, playing sports, and just being in nature. Martina's co-founder, Kyle, had this idea that he wanted to create a platform that allowed people to organize the products, services, and experience they love into stacks. He found Martina on a freelancing platform, and they instantly connected on the idea and got to building. This is the creation story of Stacklist.
Essentially, Stacklist started as bookmarking. Like literally, you could save anything from anywhere. And when I think about it, how simple that sounds and where are we now, it's ridiculous. Now I would say Stacklist is a branded content hub for businesses. Think about having a utility for the end person where you can actually save anything from anywhere, group it in, restaurants you like, books you like to read, movies you like to watch, and so on. And just with one click, you can send it to anyone. But then for businesses, it's like a content hub where people can find you, and actually real estate agencies. You are looking for an apartment and I'm your agent. When you are signing off, I send you a stack, but inside, not just the apartments or houses, it's like neighborhood, restaurants where you can go, kids' playground, school, district, everything inside. So it's much more and it's much heavier than it started as. It was actually my co-founder's idea. So Kyle Hudson, he was the originator of the idea. I joined 1 month in and we clicked immediately. That's actually a fun story because he's from the US in Atlanta and I'm in Croatia. And everybody asks, okay, what's the connection? And he found me on the freelancing platform. I was a freelancer at the time, but I was always builder in my head. And we shared the same vision from the first conversation we had. And it was like, okay, let's build this. So his vision was, he was living in New York at the time and people were asking him, okay, where should I go when I go to New York? And he would open Google Maps and has, 1,000 stars across Manhattan. And then how do you share all of that? It's so silly that you cannot aggregate, Airbnbs, hotels, restaurants, nightclubs, comedies, Broadway, whatever in one place and send it as a one link. It feels like a job. You need to sit in front of your laptop, get all of those stuff in, Google Drive, know something, and then send it to people, which is crazy. And that's how idea was born.
Let's dive into the MVP then, that first version of the product you built. How long did it take to build and what sort of tools were you using to bring it to life?
We used the usual stack, TypeScript, React, Next.js, and on the backend cloud functions in Google, also written in TypeScript. And basically the MVP was, we started in May and we launched for friends and family in September. It had Chrome extension where you could save quickly. On the web, you could paste a link as well. You could aggregate those stacks into collections, which is a bigger atom, and then share it with anyone. We also started building the first iteration of the public profile, and that was kind of an MVP, but I consider more MVP style in December, where we launched on Product Hunt. So that's actually when we had the mobile apps for Android and iOS, and it was the full product.
Excellent. Tell me about a trade-off or a decision you had to make in that early sort of platform, right? Tell me about a decision, and it could be feature, limitation or, trade-offs or tech debt acceptance, things like that. Tell me about some of those you had to work through and how you coped with them.
Oh, I think in startups, you make trade-offs every single day. Literally, I did trade-off today. I was rolling out entire billing platform and it's changed 90% of how we do billing. And I'm in the morning, Kyle is asleep. I was I'll just push this to production and fix bugs along the way because we need this for today for new customers to enroll. So I think trade-offs are something that we are doing daily. But early on, it was okay, do we build the app? Do we spend money on the developer and build that stuff? Do we not do it? And how to cope is just own what you decide and move forward. Even if it was a bad decision, fine, it doesn't matter. Scratch that, let's move on. And I think that's how startups should operate. Moving mountains every day is the goal.
This episode is sponsored by BrainGrid. Building with AI coding tools is exciting until the moment things start breaking. You ask for a small change and suddenly 3 other features stop working. AI gets confused, misses edge cases, and loses track of your intent. The problem is not code generation. The problem is planning. That is why BrainGrid exists. BrainGrid acts as your product management agent. It writes clear specification, maps UX flows, asks the clarifying questions you forgot to ask, and breaks big ideas into engineering-grade tasks that AI coding tools can build reliably. It guides Cursor, Claude Code, Replit, Windsurf, and others so they deliver features that work and keep working. Founders use BrainGrid to build real AI-native SaaS products. without a technical background. If you want reliable features instead of fragile prototypes, try BrainGrid for free at braingrid.ai. That's braingrid.ai. Today's episode is brought to you by .tech domains, and this one hits close to home. Back in 2016, when I was building my own tech startup, I went on the hunt for that elusive .com. Looked high, looked low, and guess what I found? Nothing. What I did find cost me an arm and a leg. So I did what every founder does under pressure. Threw in extra letters, settled for the less than optimal name. And here's what I wish someone had said to me back then. Noah, you're building a tech startup. Just get a .tech domain. Tech startup, .tech domain. It could not be more obvious. It tells investors, customers, and anyone who looks at your website, really, that tech is at the core of your build. And I've kicked myself plenty since. Especially when I see the clean and sharp names tech companies have landed on .tech. Nothing.tech, 1x.tech, Aurora.tech, CES.tech, Ultra.tech, Alice.tech, Neon.tech, Blaze.tech, Pi.tech. You get the idea. So take it from someone who learned it the hard way. If you're building a tech startup, don't overthink it. Secure your .tech domain today from any registrar of your choice. So let's move forward then. You've got that MVP, you've got the platform, where you want it, you're getting some traction. How have you progressed and matured the product from there? I think to wrap in a box a little bit, what I'm looking for is how do you build your roadmap? How do you go about deciding that, okay, this is the next most important thing to build or to address with Stacklist?
Early on, the roadmap was built basically around what we wanted to build. Like, we found like social profiles should be on the roadmap because people would use those to share their favorite stacks with people online. We made the decision to redesign cards because it wasn't looking as nice as it should maybe and stuff like that. But nowadays, the roadmap is defined by the businesses because we transitioned to B2B and now we have a lot of more paying customers and paying agencies that require, they actually require features. So we need to put their requirements into our roadmap as well.
Let's flip to team, right? To build something like Stacklist, you got to have the right team. Tell me about how you built that team and what you look for in those people to indicate that they are the winning horses to join you.
Oh my God. If you look at our Slack in the past year, in 2025, I think more than 80 people were like rolling inside, outside, because our goal and our whole concept is let's give people a chance, but do it project-based. Like, you don't want to commit to somebody full-time, long-term, if you don't know that person is actually good and it can last. The startup mindset where it's really high tense and the speed of evolving stuff is crucial. So we would hire and fire pretty quickly if the person was not equipped for the job or not the right mindset. But we did found a couple of people that were resonating with the product and us. But unfortunately, you know how it is, financials, we didn't hit the investments as we thought we would. So some people had to roll off, not by our intervention. So yeah, nowadays it's just Kyle, myself, and one concierge team member in Philippines. And now we are hiring for more because we just got 500K investments.
This episode is sponsored by Mesmo. If you're responsible for reliability, performance, or platform architecture, you already know the problem. Telemetry volume is growing faster than teams can manage it. Mesmo addresses this by moving observability upstream. Instead of storing everything and asking questions later, Mesmo processes telemetry in motion, filtering, transforming, and enriching logs, metrics, and traces before they reach your observability backend. The result is cleaner data, reduced ingestion costs, and faster root cause analysis using the tools you already rely on. Mesmo integrates with platforms like Datadog, Dynatrace, and open source stacks, giving teams more control without adding operational overhead. This is especially useful for platform engineers and SREs supporting complex distributed systems where context and speed matter. To see how active telemetry works in practice, get a demo at mesmo.com/codestory. That's mezmo.com/codestory. Let's flip to scalability, and this will be interesting. I'm curious about how you approach scale in the beginning. I could probably, as an engineer, cherry pick some ideas you may have going about with and some of the things you said, but I'm curious if, how you approached it and if there's been interesting areas where you've had to fight it as you've grown.
How I operate in startups, and basically I spent my whole life in startups, is don't solve for what you don't have today. Meaning, I will not solve scalability or performance issues for, 100K users that I don't have today. If I'll have those users and I will hit some scalability issues, that will be a nice problem to solve, to be honest. We are scalable. We are performing really well. So I didn't put that much thought into it maybe at the beginning. I was just like, okay, let's roll this out and see how it works, and then we'll scale as we go, if that makes sense. Now we are at the place where we have 15K users in the platform, and now it's getting more heavier and operational, and people are actually using it on a weekly basis, like 12K users on a weekly basis, which is super huge number for me. So now we are performing a bit of operation-wise how to scale those functions in Google Cloud, what to optimize, how to deal with cold starts and so on.
Okay, so as you step out on the balcony, you look across all that you've built thus far with Stacklist, what are you most proud of?
That's a good question, to be honest. I'm proud of the entire ecosystem, that we built so many features, and you know how it is with startups, you build and then you delete because nobody uses that. But we have so many features and it works really well. Sometimes I watch Carl when he does the demo to potential client and he goes through some features and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot we had that. And then if the client goes, oh wow, that's amazing, I go, oh yeah, this truly is amazing. That we build something that people actually use daily and find that that's wow.
Let's flip the script a little bit, Martina. Tell me about a mistake you made and how you and your team responded to it.
There were many mistakes for sure. There are two actually. First one is pushing on mobile app when it just wasn't working. I'm a full stack developer and I am building web and backend and basically the entire DevOps, but I don't have skills with Flutter or mobile apps. And we had the developer do that. Nowadays, with Cloud Code, maybe I would even dive into that portion, but they had so many hours. But at the time, I was building so fast and I was pushing features out so many at the time, and mobile developer couldn't follow the pace. And the mobile app was always behind, but people loved the apps. And actually, a lot of people were using the app. So if I could go back in time, I would probably pull the plug earlier in terms of, okay, let's not do the app until we have more stable version out and more slower pace that we are building stuff that it can actually catch up with web. That's one. And the second one is most recent, where we did the whole flip into there is single user on the platform, and now there is organization and workspaces, and you can get invites into workspace and so on. So that's the whole architectural decision. Me and Kyle are pretty much the same in that way. Should we build this? Yeah, let's build this. Okay, fine. And then I go and build it. This was underestimated on my side, complexity-wise, completely. So if I could go back, I would definitely do it different.
This episode is sponsored by Unblocked. Your coding agents have access to your code base. Maybe you even connected other tools via MCPs. But access doesn't mean context. Agents can't reason across MCPs. They don't know your architectural decisions, your team's patterns, or why the API was shaped the way it is. So agents look in the wrong place and deliver bad outputs. Then you spend time correcting. More loops, more tokens. Unblocked is the context layer your agents are missing. It synthesizes your PRs, docs, Slack, and tickets into organizational context that agents actually understand. So they make better plans, write higher quality code, use fewer tokens, and require fewer correction loops. If you're running Claude Code, Cursor, or any agentic workflow, Unblocked is worth a look. Learn more at getunblocked.com/codestory. Okay, let's move forward then. This will be exciting. What does the future look like for Stacklist, for the product, the platform, and for your team?
The product for sure I'm building at the moment, like I know exactly where this should go and will go. Like MCP connection to the Claude. Imagine you go into Claude or Claude Code, doesn't matter, ChatGPT, Perplexity, whatever is your favorite choice, and go, hey, can you pull up 5 best restaurants in Croatia, create a stack, Croatia restaurants, and put those in a stack. And it does that for you. And then you're like, okay, can you suggest maybe I have a couple of restaurant stacks, maybe I can merge those or put them in a collection. What do you suggest? Can you auto-tag those or make some kind of improvements? Then on the other side, there is also save. You know how LLMs produce so much text nowadays? Who reads that? Then you're then, okay, can you summarize this for me? Keep it simple so I can read it in 3 sentences. And imagine those summaries you can save as MD files and then work around those per project, invoke them in ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, doesn't matter. And like, you don't even have to go to Stacklist to use Stacklist. That's the goal. And the whole AI enhancement. Oh, you saved 3 cards that are from New York. Do you want to put them in a stack? You have actually 2 New York stacks. Which one do you prefer? Like talking to Stacklist and talking to the Stacklist agents and MCPs all the time and having more structured way of saving everything in your life. That's for the product for sure. For team, I would like to have a couple of more developers who are same-minded as me, that we all should ship really fast and explore stuff as we go and remove if we see that it doesn't work. So I need to build team around me that's fast, executable, and killer sales, go to market, and just bring it to the level that we know it can exist.
Let's switch to you. Who influences the way that you work? Name a person or many persons or something you look up to and why.
We were in Accelerator in Hawaii, and there I met what happened to be my friend now. And I am proud that I can call her my friend. She's Miki, and she's the CEO of Olelo Intelligence. And I think she's the most brilliant person I met. And the way she runs the company, and she's also CTO, she has great technology and skills and ability to do amazing stuff. And the way she operates with the team and the company with such a calm structure, and she knows exactly where she wants to go, just turns something in me like, I want to do that as well on that level. So she's the one for sure. And then my husband and my co-founder, like both of those guys are extremely good in what they do. And they both have one item in common, which is they go into this executable mode and they will not stop until it's done. So I respect that, and I'm not in that mode. I can be, but I'm more like all over the place. So I am really respectful when somebody goes, okay, yeah, you told me to do that, I'll do that, no matter the cost and no matter how much time will take me.
Last question, Martina. So you're getting on a plane and you're sitting next to a young entrepreneur who's built the next big thing. They're jazzed about it. They can't wait to show it off to the world and can't wait to show it off to you right there on the plane. What advice do you give that person, having gone down this road a bit now?
I would say build quickly, iterate even quicker. Don't be afraid of falling. Don't be afraid of negative comments, and don't take those to heart, because there will always be people who will say you are not good enough, the product is not good enough, X, Y, and Z is not good enough. So those people, you should just say, yeah, thank you, and move forward. So just be bold enough to take on whatever is in front of you and build, iterate, talk to users, and do it in repeat.
That's fantastic advice. Well, Martina, thank you for being on the show today. Thank you for telling the creation story of Stacklist.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And this concludes another chapter of Code Story. Code Story is hosted and produced by Noah Labhart. Be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or the podcasting app of your choice. And when you get a chance, leave us a review. Both things help us out tremendously. And thanks again for listening.
You waited for your tax refund, now make it worth it. At Mattress Warehouse, save up to $850 during our tax refund sale. Plus, get a free adjustable base with select purchases. And sleep easy knowing your mattress is backed by our exclusive lifetime price guarantee. With 0% interest and free next day delivery, why shop anywhere else? Make your refund go farther at Mattress Warehouse. Visit mattresswarehouse.com today.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.